My name is Doug Mayo. I'm the County Extension Director and Livestock and Forages Agent in Jackson County, Florida. While you may know your local county agent well, from farm visits, phone calls, and educational trainings, you may not know the team of researchers that are focused in the areas of beef cattle and forage management. So through this video, we will introduce you to resource people your county agents rely on for science-based information.
I'm Ann Blunt, forage breeder for the University of Florida, located in the Florida Panhandle, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about the cool season forage breeding program that we have at the university. So for many of us who have livestock, we need something during the winter months besides feeding hay that will keep animals in good shape and give them good nutrition. So we have a very large breeding program that focuses mostly on creating forage varieties like small grains and ryegrasses that fit the winter months in the northern part of Florida. And today I'm going to give you an example of a success story that we've had. This is Legend Oat. It is an oat that we've manipulated photoperiod and disease resistance so that the plant grows very quickly in the winter months, provides a lot of forage for livestock, compared to another type of winter forage that's very popular, ryegrass. So when you look at the productivity of a small grain versus ryegrass, you can see we are much more successful with getting tonnage with a grain type crop. Most of the work that we do in our breeding program is to develop photoperiod and sensitive plants that grow during the short days, and they provide very high nutrition for our livestock industry. We were very interested in developing a very similar type, but in cereal rye. So this is Florida 405 cereal rye compared to ryegrass, and you can see even how it appears. It has a lot more tonnage than even our successful Legend Oat. So Florida 405 rye was released by University of Florida last year. It has not yet made it to the commercial market, but again, we're targeting manipulating photoperiod and cool season forages for this region of the United States, the southeastern region, to make our forages more productive at the time in the winter months when we need our grazing available. We do a lot of variety testing for forages across the southeastern United States, and from that we're able to offer recommendations for the livestock producer on an annual basis so that they know what would work best for them in their pastures during the winter months.
I'm Dr. Cheryl Makoviak with the University of Florida IFAS, and I'm a soil scientist and focusing on soil fertility and water quality, with special emphasis on forage-based agriculture. I'd like to show you what we're doing here, and these are multiple paddocks. We've got 27 research paddocks where we're looking at integrated crop livestock systems and different grazing intensities to see if we can improve our soil health and also reduce nitrate leaching into the environment. And row crop systems are notorious for losing nitrates, but if we can put a cover crop in the wintertime and then on top of that graze it, and we think we can reduce nitrates. And we've got what we call leachate lysimeters, or drain lysimeters, and this is just the data logger. The lysimeter's underground, and we're collecting leachate, measuring it, and by doing that with the different treatments, we can determine how much nitrates are losing to the environment. Okay, so you might wonder, why are we out here in the winter time? Well, the cover crop in the winter is what's key for these production systems. And typically you have a cover crop to help protect the soil from erosion and to contain the nutrients for the summer crop. But also, if we can graze this cover crop, we're finding additional benefits in terms of soil health and reducing leachate besides just having the cover crop alone. And so that's kind of an interesting addition that we're getting, a little win-win here. You can see cotton down on the ground here, and this is a combination of oats and rye. And so this will have another few months to go before we switch into the summer rotation.
My name is Nicholas Di Lorenzo. I'm a beefsteak specialist, and I'm very excited to share with you today some of the research we've been doing with the main objective of adding value at in a cost-effective way to Florida calves. We had a project last year. We were developing heifers with sorghum silage. And the whole idea with that project is to come up with alternatives, feed alternatives that would allow us to develop heifers and also background calves at a lower cost than it would be with perhaps commodities or any other feed. So what we have right here at our feed efficiency facility, we've been experimenting with sorghum silage is what I have here. And we had some really good results from last year that show gains in the neighborhood of 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds, which will be ideal for heifer development, and conversion that really could be better, but we're working on maybe improving some of the yields. Our conversions right now are around 12 to 1 to 13 to 1 on a dry matter basis. So the summary of the results from last year with a diet of sorghum silage and a 10% distiller's grain, we were able to have a total cost of $140 per ton of dry matter, which is 7 cents per pound of dry matter, and with a conversion at a little bit less than 14 to 1 on a dry basis, and an average daily gain of between 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds, we were able to stay with a feed cost of gain right below $1, which would be ideal considering market situations to add value to those calves and develop heifers in the ideal range of gains for proper development and function in the herd.
I'm José Dubé, a forage specialist here at University of Florida, North Florida Research and Education Center in Marianna. And whenever I got here, I was challenged to find systems that bridge the gaps and reduce the forage shortage that we have in this region. I'm happy to say that during these years that I've been here, we've been able to find very interesting solutions. This is one of the best places of the world to grow forages. And during this time of the year is the prime season, where we can go grow cool season forages. And the past 80 years that I've been here, we've been able to establish those forages and have at least 120 days of grazing, 1.5 steers per acre or more, and 2 pounds per day average daily gain. So that's pretty interesting. In this system, for example, we've been also trying to replace nitrogen fertilizer by introducing forage legumes, and we've been able to replace 200 pounds of nitrogen per acre by 30 pounds of nitrogen per acre and still keep the pasture productive whenever we introduce clovers during this time of the year and perennial peanut during the summer. However, there are still some gaps in the system, from October to mid-January and, from the spring to the summer transition. And we found some other options to fill those gaps. Another option that we are trying to do research to fill those gaps that I mentioned is limpo grass. This limpo grass that I'm standing right now, we planted last September. Today is January 28th, and as you see, it's already starting to green up. Limpo grass is very unique because it's good for stockpiling. So the idea is to have the limpo grass for stockpiling. You defer grazing at the beginning of September, and then by late October, beginning of November, you have some good stockpiling option to bridge that gap that I mentioned from October until mid-January. Also, because it greens up early, you can have limpo grass to help during the transition from the spring to the summer. So when you put together the cool season forage, the regular summer systems, plus the limpo grass stockpiling and spring transition, we are going to have 365 days of grazing without feeding hay or baleage and reducing the feed costs. That's our goal.
My name is Angela Gonella. I'm the beef cattle reproductive specialist at the North Florida Research and Education Center in Marianna. The goal of the cow-calf operation is that every cow produces a calf every year. But my goal is that help producers not only to have a calf every year, but to target the best moment of the year so we can increase the efficiency of the system, having the best conditions for both the mama cow and the calf. Pregnancy diagnosis is a technology that's been available for a while for producers. Still, we are not using enough of this technology yet. However, by identifying the cow that did not get pregnant, we can cull that cow so we can just keep the cows that are more efficient in our herd. However, right now we are working in a newer technology that is called Doppler ultrasonography that allows us to identify the pregnant cow 20 days after the first insemination. So we can perform a second insemination 22 days after the first one. Another technology that has been here for a while and we are not using enough is ester synchronization and the combination of ester synchronization and artificial insemination. Those technologies help us to get more cows bred at the beginning of the breeding season. And the use of artificial insemination allow you to bring to your herd the best genetics so you can increase the performance of your herd. However, even if you have the best genetics and the best nutrition and the best environment for your cows, there's a proportion of cows that are not getting pregnant after one single breed attempt. So we are trying to research why, and we are trying to investigate how to identify those cows by using molecular technology and genomics to try to understand and to identify the cows that are not getting pregnant. No matter the size of your herd or your management level, there is always room for improvement, and there is always tools to improve your reproductive efficiency to get more cows bred at the beginning of the breeding season.
My name is Marcelo Valal. I'm the Forage Extension Specialist for the University of Florida. I'm located in Gainesville, Florida. Most of my research and extension program is around testing and developing and testing new forage varieties that are adapted to Florida agricultural production systems, and also to promote best management practices to those, and also learn strategies on how to integrate those new forages into Florida production systems. One of the projects I'm very excited about is our new Bermuda grass releases. We have one that was released a couple of years ago, that's Ms. Levy 2000, and we have new ones coming into the market. We're working right now on propagating planting material to distribute those new forages for Florida producers, and this is a project that's also sponsored by Florida Cattlemen. Not only Bermuda grass, but we also have the limpo grass, new limpo grass varieties that were released by the University of Florida in the recent years, and those are helping producers to close that fall forage gap, both in South Florida all the way here in North Florida, with the research being developed by Dr. Dubé. Another thing I'm very interested on is developing annual forages to put in production systems, especially related to dairy. One of the projects we have is the Cool Season Forages trial, variety trial on dairy. So we go on farm and test a wide range of varieties on farm to show the dairymen which performs best. And this information is released in our variety recommendations, and you can find those with your county agents to make sure you're choosing the right material adapted to your reality. Same goes for corn. We have 2 seasons of corn and sorghum every year, a spring and a summer planting season, with a partnership with many industries, with many seed companies, where we generate information on corn and sorghum hybrids for the producers. As an extension specialist, my role is to support the agents to make sure the right information is getting to you, and to distribute this information and technology that's generated within our department. So make sure you contact your local extension agent to learn more about our projects and our list of variety selections.
These were just a few highlights showcasing the dedicated scientists serving cattle and forage producers in North Florida. For more information on these and many other topics, contact your local county extension service.